The House will come to order. This morning, the pledge will be said by Leora and Kaysen Parker, Joshua Parker, who are homeschooled in Castle Rock, Colorado.
Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great job, you guys. Mr. Randall, please call the roll. Fantastic. Come this way. I am Casey.
Representatives Arndt, Baisley, excused, Beckman, excused, Benavides, Bird, Bockenfeld, Buckner, Representative Buckner, excused, Buenteo, Caravale,
Excused.
Carver, Catlin, Coleman, Cutter, Duran, excused, Beskar, Exum, Froelich, Galindo, Garnett, Geithner, Gonzalez Gutierrez, Gray, Hanson, Herod, Hooten, excused, Humphrey, Jackson, Representative Duran is present. Jackson, excused, Jaquez Lewis, excused, Kennedy, Kip,
Oh, be great. Thank you.
Kip, Kraft-Tharp, Landgraf, Larson, Lewis, Liston, Lontine. Lontine. Excused. McCluskey. McKean. McKean. Excused. McLaughlin. Melton. Michelson Janae. Mullica. Thank you. Representative Hooten is present. Mullica. Excused. Neville. Pelton. Ransom. Rich. Roberts. Sane. Sane. Excused. Sandridge. Singer. Singer. Excused. Sirota. Snyder. Snyder. Excused. Representative Singer is present. Soper. Sullivan. Tipper. Titone. Representative Sane is present. Titone. Excused. Valdez A. A. Valdez. Excused. Representative Snyder is present. Valdez D. Van Winkle. Excused. Weissman. Will. Williams. Wilson. Madam Speaker.
With 48 present, 17 excused, we do have a quorum. Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I have not had the honor of doing this in 4 years, so please, please be kind. Madam Speaker, I move that the Journal of Monday, April 15, 2009, be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
Remember, she has a lot of control over our state budget, I just want to say. You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no.
No bills for you.
The motion passes. Members, may I have your attention? We're going to start off with a little treat this morning, and Representative Wilson is going to tell us about it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, unbeknownst to most of you in this chamber, Cowboy Poetry
members,
Week,
could you please be
National
quiet?
Cowboy Poetry Week, starts this next weekend. We are privileged today in the chamber to help kick off that celebration a cowboy poet who happens to have a bigger mustache than Representative Will. Floyd Beard is right up here. He is a friend of mine. He's a former superintendent in the state of Colorado. He was also a BOCES administrator. So he comes to us from out on the eastern plains, and he's going to share a little bit of cowboy poetry with us to honor National Cowboy Poetry Week starting next week. Take it away, Floyd.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here this morning. It's an honor. And on behalf of National Cowboy Poetry Week, I'd like to bring you a poem that I wrote about Southeast Colorado that was selected as the best Western poem by the American Western Writers of America for 2016. It's called Ain't a Hermit, and it talks about just riding out, making a circle, checking cows one morning. So with that, Ain't a Hermit. Well, now I ain't no real recluse. Hermit ain't my real excuse. But neighbors, they are sparse where I come from. Oh, I often sit and talk a spell, but a poet said it well. I like folks best when they're scattered some. So let my story now unwind, build a picture in your mind of a canyon land that's rugged, vast, and free, where broken canyons braid for miles, mountain peaks stack up in piles, a torn and arid range is what you'll see. There, I awake and stretch and yawn, and I ride out on the dawn, where the prairies melt into the canyons deep. I find a bunch of cattle there in the cool, crisp morning air on grama grass around a canyon seep. Melodic spurs, steel shoes on rock, softly sing out as we walk, 'neath sandstone cliffs that beetle way up high. The prickly pear are in full bloom where the ponderosa loom in stark contrast against an azure sky. Near noon, we pass a basin pool of fresh water, clear and cool. 'Neath pines, the cattle shade up from the sun. I sit and lean against a tree, pony hobbled, grazing free. My Canyon Cafe charm is next to none. Then I catch my pony and cinch my cack and settle down upon his back. Our circle still has lots of miles to go. Round a bend, I stop and see a big muley watching me. He bounces off, making quite a show. Through rocks and brush on trails so dim, upward to the canyon rim, my pony and a good dog by my side, we pause atop the sandstone cliffs and enjoy the fragrant whiffs of sagebrush as we gaze on vistas wide. Then cross the mesa I ride out, salt and water on my route. The grass is green, the mill's pumping free. Sure, we could use a soaking rain, but you won't hear me complain. With grass and water, I'll just let her be. A large crevasse defines the trail. Down through boulders, brush, and shale, we wind our way back to the canyon floor. I rein my pony toward home, turning loose my thoughts to roam o'er canyon coves and canyon coves of rest. Storm clouds build high o'er canyon brow, so we hit a long trot now. To hustle to the barn sure might be best. Back on my ranch house porch I stand, cup of coffee in my hand, lost in thoughts and thunder from above. My collie cowers neath my feet, rain-washed breezes smell so sweet, revival to the country that we love. Well, like I said back at the start, I ain't a hermit in my heart, though I live out where the land is vast and free. I love my friends and all their ways, but I'm most at home those days in the saddle, just my pony, dog, and me. Ain't a hermit. Thank you very much.
I hear that Mr. Beard might have another short 2-minute poem to share. Do you want to
If you
go
would
for
like,
it? Okay,
yes.
members, one more.
Well, this one I bring to you is a classic. I don't know if I'm still on here.
Yep.
Okay. This one I bring to you is a classic. First came out in 1899 and written by James Adams. It's called Bills in Trouble. I got a letter, Parson, from my son way out west, and my old heart's as heavy as an anvil in my breast. To think the boy whose future I once so proudly planned would wander from the path of right and come to such an end. I warned him when he left his home not 3 short years ago he'd find himself a plowing in a mighty crooked row. He'd miss his father's counsel and his mother's prayers too. But he said the farm was hateful and he guessed he'd have to go. And I know there's temptations for a youngster in the West, but I believed our Billy had the courage to resist. And I warned him when he left of the ever-present snares that lie like hidden serpents along life's pathway everywhere. But Bill, he promised faithful he'd be careful, and allowed he'd build a reputation that'd make us mighty proud. But it seems as how my counsel sort of faded from his mind, and now the boy's in trouble of the very worstest kind. Well, his letters came so seldom, I somehow sort of knowed Billy was a trampling down a mighty rocky road. But I never once imagined he'd bow my head in shame, nor in the dust he'd waller his old daddy's honored name. He writes from out in Denver, and the story's mighty short. I just can't tell his mother. It'd crush her poor old heart. So I reckon, Parson, you might break the news to her. Bill's in the legislature, but he doesn't say what for. James Adams. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Announcements and introductions. Representative Gray.
Thank you, members. This is a big day for me because the greatest man I've ever known is in the chamber today. My father, Larry Gray, is back there in the corner, and is a career.
Yeah. Thank you, James.
He was a career public educator, as a teacher and a principal, and an amazing father, and still helps educate young people to this day. So feel free to go by and say hello. That's my dad over there.
Representative Escar Insane.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, who wants to wear some jeans to work? The annual Denim Day is happening next week on the 24th to take a stand against sexual violence. Pay $5. Each of us will have these sitting on our desks. Put your $5 in the box, and you are allowed to wear jeans. I did get permission from both the Majority Leader and the Minority Leader. Come support Colorado Denim Day. It's the annual event.
Representative Sane.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, it's going to be on the 24th of April. So remember, we'll have these boxes on our desks. Take a stand against sexual violence. Thank you, members.
Thank you.
Any other announcements or introductions? Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, Floyd, I believe, will be coming down out of the balcony and will be seated over here on the right where I've got a place if you wanted to introduce yourself to him. They'll be seated over here by Steve and Linda Chelf, who are from my hometown. They are on their way to South Korea, where their son is stationed in the service. So they're going to go welcome a new grandbaby into the world. So be sure to say hello to Steve and Linda, and also to Floyd, and I believe his wife will be coming down here shortly. Thank you.
Representative Hansen.
Thanks so much, Madam Speaker. Members of House Appropriations, thank you for all your hard work this morning. We have an important deadline that we need to meet with one bill, which is House Bill 1176. That needs to get to Legislative Council, which is meeting on Thursday. So we will be meeting in the well tomorrow. Our first well meeting, House Appropriations tomorrow on 1176. Thanks.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, on Thursday, the Health Caucus meeting will be present in HCR 109 from noon to 1. Looking forward to seeing you there. We'll be talking about health issues. Thank you.
Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Education Committee, we have 3 bills up today, 1277, 170, and 1294. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of State, Veterans, and Military Affairs will be meeting at 1:30 in LSB-A to hear Senate Bill 174, House Bill 1318, and Senate Bill 166.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, we have the avalanche here, and so if you guys could all take a minute to recognize Bernie. Bernie is here along with some of the Ice Girls. We want to congratulate the Avalanche. They won 6-2 last night over the Calgary Flames to take a 2-1 lead in the series. We're the 8 seed. Calgary Flames are the 1 seed. We recruited a college player who played in his first NHL game last night and scored a goal on like his first shot, which was amazing. And we are going to proudly display the Avalanche flag on the balcony to help support the Avalanche as they continue to win and dominate the NHL playoffs. We feel bad that Representative Van Winkle, the ultimate Avalanche fan, isn't here to join us, but that's because he has his new baby boy that he is taking care of. So I know he's watching us at home. We have Representative Sullivan with his Avalanche jersey on. As Representative Froelich, we're showing our Avalanche spirit. So if we could give the Avalanche a round of applause and thank them for representing Colorado well.
Way to go, Avs. Thanks for joining us today. Representative Weissman.
And you have your maroon suit on.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. That's a hard act to follow, but there will be an avalanche of lawyers in 112 at 1:30 for the usual Judiciary Committee hearing. We have a full day today. House Bill 1275, back for action only. Senate Bill 12, House Bill 1310, Senate Bill 185, House Bill 1315, and House Bill 1297. 1:30 start time.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, we are going to go a little out of order this morning.
Hold on just a second. Members, please quiet down in the chamber.
We are going to do a few special order second reading of bills this morning, and then after we're done with that, we're going to go into third reading, so it's just a little bit backwards. So the list of bills is up here. But, Madam Speaker, I move that the following bills be made special. We have to read reports.
Mr. Randall.
Committee on Appropriations, after consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following bills be referred to the Committee of the Whole unamended. Senate Bill 1, Senate Bill 3, Senate Bill 86, Senate Bill 162. The committee also recommends that the following bills be amended as follows, and as amended be referred to the Committee of the Whole favorable recommendation. House Bill 1045, 1051, 1193, 1230, 1234, 1242, 1245, 1263, 1269, 1279, 1292. The committee also recommends House Bill 1314 be referred to the Committee on Legislative Counsel with favorable recommendation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And so, members, please pay attention to the order of the bills this morning.
Just a minute. Quiet in the chamber, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, members. Please pay close attention to the order of bills so that you know when your bill is up. And Representative McKean, you know, we just introduced Bernie, and we're really excited that he's here. Is he? Madam Speaker, I move that the following bills be made special orders on April 16th, 2019 at 9:23 a.m. House Bill 1280, Senate Bill 64, Senate Bill 168, House Bill 1260, Senate Bill 189, Senate Bill 201, House Bill 1305, Senate Bill 4, Senate Bill 200, House Bill 1045, House Bill 1051, House Bill 1193, House Bill 1269, and House Bill 1279.
Seeing no objection, those bills will be made special orders at 9:22 according to the Majority Leader. Representative McCluskey. Thank you. Order.
With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee amendments will not be read unless requested, as they are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and not read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the majority leader. And the coat rule is relaxed. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1280.
House Bill 1280 by Representatives Harrod and Becker, also Senator Fenberg, concerning the creation of the College Kickstarter Account Program to incentivize the creation of a college savings account for every child born in Colorado.
Representative Harrod.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1280 and the Appropriations and Finance Committee reports.
Thank you. To the Appropriations Committee report.
This bill appropriates, the Appropriation Committee neither appropriated any funds for fiscal, or did not appropriate funds for fiscal year 1920. They did add amendments to authorize the account fund and specifies that appropriations are only required from the Kickstarter master account for expenses other than Kickstarter funding. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The Appropriations Committee report passes. Representative Harrod.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Finance Committee took out specific appropriation numbers to allow the College Invest to fundraise the appropriate amount of funding for the implementation of the program and to manage the master account and disbursements as required within the bill, but also allows flexibility for them to manage their investment account. To ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Finance Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Finance Committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The committee report passes. To the bill. Speaker Becker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a fantastic bill, and thank you, Representative Harrod, for including me on this bill with you. This bill simply creates the College Kickstarter Account Program. It will create a $100 Kickstarter college savings account for every child born or adopted in Colorado without using a dollar of general fund. It's fully funded by gifts, grants, and donations. Members, we know that college is becoming increasingly expensive, and if you start saving for college early, you are more likely to attend college. I want to thank College Invest, who will administer it, but also raise money so that every kid in Colorado will have a start from the day they're born to actually getting to college. Members, each kid born in Colorado between 2020 and 2040 will have a College Invest account open for them with $100 to start them on the right path to get to college. I ask for an aye vote.
Representative Harrod.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Madam Speaker, for joining the bill. This is really important for all kids across Colorado. We know that there are not enough kids who are saving and families who are saving for college right now. The College Kickstarter program will allow families to get started with that $100 in that account. They will also be able to keep the interest earned on that account, which is hugely important. Not only does this help people get into college, it helps them to start thinking about savings, not just for college, but also for retirement and other programs. And so with that, it's a very simple program with a simple solution that costs the state no money. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1280. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The bill passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 64.
Senate Bill 64 by Senator Lee, also Representative Weissman, concerning retention of criminal justice programs funding.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you, and good morning, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 64. There are no committee reports.
To the bill.
Senate Bill 64 is essentially an accounting cleanup that creates cash funds for the funds for 3 different justice reinvestment programs that the legislature has created and reauthorized over the last couple of years. The WAGES program is a means by which the Department of Corrections works with local community groups to reduce recidivism rates, in this case to single digits. It's been very effective. The Justice Reinvestment Crime Prevention Initiative, aka Transforming Safety, is about small business lending and small grant making to target communities to increase economic opportunity and community safety. And the Crime Survivors Grants Program involves grant making to assist non-traditional victims of crime. All of these bills have had bipartisan support in the last couple of years, and 64 allows them to continue in a more fiscally appropriate way. I ask for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Weissman. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 64. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill passes. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to lay over Senate Bill 168 one day till Wednesday, April 17th.
Thank you. Mr. Randall, please read House Bill 1260. Title of House Bill 1260.
House Bill 1260 by Representatives Kipp and Valdez A., also Senators Warner and Priola, concerning an update to the minimum energy code for the construction of buildings.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1260.
To the bill. Mr. Representative Valdez.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. So this bill is pretty simple. It would require, as counties or cities update their building codes, that they adopt one of the 3 most recent energy codes. This is a great bill because it helps us to build better homes, which are more energy efficient, more comfortable, and healthier for the families of Colorado. So with that, I would urge an aye vote.
Representative Kipp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is not a new mandate. This is updating a mandate that was passed in 2007 for the energy codes to be updated to 2003 codes. All this does is update it to one of the most recent 3, and it makes things better and cheaper for our consumers. So we think overall this is a great bill.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Sane.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I ask for a no vote. It will not make it cheaper for many consumers, which is why local governments have not uniformly adopted all of these. I ask for, again, a no vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1260. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. No. House Bill 1260 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 189.
Senate Bill 189 by Senators Todd and Lundeen, also Representatives Cutter and Wilson, concerning the continuation of the Concurrent Enrollment Advisory Board in connection therewith implementing the recommendations contained in the 2018 subsurvey report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 19-189 and the Education Committee report.
To the Education Committee report. Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The House Committee amended Senate Bill 19-189 to accommodate my passion for a sunset, which is a 5-year sunset, because I firmly believe that you all need to have those come up from time to time so you know what's been going on in prior legislators. And I will give you an amendment for the education report.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move L003 to the House Education Committee report and ask it to be properly displayed.
The amendment is properly before us. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This amends the education report and simply clarifies the sunset date. So it's just a simple technical amendment to clarify the sunset date, and I would ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of L003 to Senate Bill 189 to the Education Committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The amendment passes. To the committee report.
Oh, you're doing the committee report.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think I spoke to the Education Committee report, I think.
I think you did.
Great. Is there any further discussion on the Education Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The committee report passes.
She'll say two.
To the bill.
There we go.
Representative Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is an honor to serve with you.
It is such an honor to serve with you.
This bill deals with concurrent enrollment advisory committee for the Ascent program, which is a fifth-year high school program that allows students to participate in concurrent enrollment the year after 12th grade. So all this bill does is provide for the continuation of that advisory board indefinitely. Or no, I take that back, with the amendment for the next 5 years to be sunsetted again.
Is there any further discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 189. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Senate Bill 189 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 201.
Senate Bill 201 by Senators Pedersen and Tate, also Representatives Tipper and McKean, concerning the creation of a process by which certain parties to an adverse health care incident may discuss potential outcomes.
Representative McKean.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Chair. You know what? I just am thrilled to serve with you. And look at you up there. You're doing your thing. You're doing great. Yay.
I am thrilled to serve with you, Representative
You know what?
McKean.
You have been
Thank
looking
so
forward
much.
to this for like days. And here it
weeks,
is. Here it is.
months.
So I said we'd have tons of amendments and maybe some title challenges. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Okay, Madam Chair, I move Senate Bill 201. There is no committee report.
To the bill.
To the bill. Folks, this is what I say. Maybe your feet are getting cold today because this could be double hockey sticks freezing over, but this is when a whole bunch of people get together and agree that what is best for process, what is best for patients, what is best for us as a society is when we sit down and talk to each other. This bill literally is the ability after a catastrophic medical procedure to sit down and have a conversation between patients and doctors and actually talk about some of the things that went on and be able to have that conversation in an environment that stays out of discovery, stays out of a lot of the legal machinations, and allows that candid conversation to occur. This is a remarkable bill that you will want to vote yes for today.
Representative Tipper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just to add to that, members, this not only came out of the Senate unanimously, it came out of committee unanimously. We had testimony from parties that are usually diabolically or diametrically?
Diametrically.
Both.
Diabolically as well.
Diabolically and diametrically opposed. And everyone is on board recognizing that when you have an adverse incident in health, the one thing that the patient wants more than anything is an opportunity to talk to the doctor and find out what happened. So this allows that process. It does not waive it doesn't waive any rights if you engage in this process and nothing comes of it. If you talk and no settlement occurs and a party still wants to move forward with litigation, they can do that. They've not lost anything. So again, this is one of those rare, I think, moments where we had unanimous agreement across the board, political spectrums, ideologies, and really industry, and we ask for your support.
Thank you, Representative Tipper. Representative McKean.
I will add one thing, and just from my own experience, sometimes all you want is answers. That's it. So when we talk about settlement, when we talk about other things, that is an occasional circumstance, but sometimes all you want to be able to do is say, what happened? This gives you that opportunity.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 201. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Senate Bill 201 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1305.
House Bill 1305 by Representatives McLaughlin and Catlin, House Senator Gonzalez, concerning the authority of tribal entities to administer fingerprint-based criminal history record checks related to emergency child welfare placements.
Thank you. Representative McLaughlin. Thank you, Madam Chair. It's a pleasure to work with you today. And it is a pleasure to work with you. You look good up there, by the way, so keep it up. Yes, I am happy to be doing this bill with Representative Catlin. It was brought to us by the Ute tribes. This bill clarifies, first of all, sorry, I move House Bill 19-1305. Here we go. Thank you, Representative McLaughlin, to the bill. Okay, here we are. Brought to us by the Ute tribes, it clarifies that the tribal departments of human services and law enforcement agencies may conduct criminal history background checks of persons who will be taking a child in for emergency placements. Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's an honor to serve with you.
And an honor to serve with you.
Thank you. This is excuse me, I'm not feeling too hot today. This is an opportunity for us to help speed the process when children from the tribes are needing to have someone take over and be their guardian or to be their parent. This allows the tribes to check the fingerprints, run them through the system, and it will speed things up for the tribes and for those children. For that reason, I would ask for a yes vote.
Thank you, Representative Catlin. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1305. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. House Bill 1305 passes.
Mr. Randall. Whoops. Please read the title of Senate Bill 19004.
Senate Bill 4 by Senators Donovan, also Representatives Roberts and McCluskey, concerning measures to reduce the high cost of health insurance in the state in connection with modifying the health care coverage cooperatives laws to include consumer protections to allow consumers to collectively negotiate rates directly with providers.
Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 4 and the Rural Affairs and Agriculture Committee report.
To the Rural Affairs and Agriculture Committee report. Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the Rural Affairs and Agriculture Committee, we added 2 amendments that make clear how the Division of Insurance can consult with these co-ops to help them get them off the ground and up and running. And they're requests of the department and would ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of the Rural Affairs and Agriculture Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. No. The ayes have it. The committee report is passed. Representative McCluskey to the bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 004 does what our federal government has not. It gives us an opportunity to address the high rising healthcare costs in rural Colorado as well as along the Front Range. Senate Bill 004 will allow communities to come together, create co-ops, and find their own way in bringing down health insurance premiums for those on all of the different commercial markets. Particularly in the community where I live, Summit County, we have had a tremendous community effort, a coalition coming together to work large employer to large employer directly with providers in order to establish a co-op that will significantly bring down health insurance rates. These co-ops will allow for consumer protections like pre-existing conditions and also help us negotiate in future years to keep those rates at their lowest level. It allows individuals to band together with large and small group employers for purchasing power to negotiate those rates. And with that, I urge an aye vote.
Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm honored to be joined on this bill by Representative McCluskey because her community in Summit County really is leading the way and showing how these local co-ops can be a huge part in us lowering healthcare costs in Colorado. I come down to this well and have a lot of bills on this issue. This is a key part to give communities and individuals the power themselves to negotiate directly with insurance providers, to find a cheaper plan, to do what works best for their community, and get the type of coverage that affords them the security of health insurance coverage, which is what we all want our constituents to have in the first place. So this is a very good bill, passed out of the Senate 34-1, passed out of Rural Affairs and Agriculture unanimously. Let's give the power back to the consumers and let them negotiate their own plans and lower health insurance premiums. I'd ask for an aye vote.
Representative Buck.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I heard this in committee, and I have to be honest, this is a great, innovative way of a community coming together for their health care needs. So I ask for everyone to support this. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 004. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Senate Bill 004 is passed.
Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 200.
Senate Bill 200 by Senator Gonzalez, also Representative Valdez, concerning an exception to the prohibition on removing an alcohol beverage from a premises licensed to serve alcohol beverages at the National Western Center.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move Senate Bill 200.
To the bill.
So this is a pretty simple bill, members. Basically what this does is it eliminates an imaginary line that exists down the middle of the National Western Stock Show complex. And what we're really trying to do here is create a great place for people to go out and have a good time at the stock show without having to chug or dump their beer when they cross over. So I would ask for an aye vote.
Minority Leader Neville.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this bill deserves a yes vote.
Representative Escar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question to the sponsor is, how does this help the Colorado State Fair?
Representative Valdez.
People who go to the stock show would like to go to the fair as well, I'm guessing.
Representative Humphrey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I urge an aye vote. No dumping or chugging. Enough said. Thank you.
Imaginary lines. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Bill 200. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Senate Bill 200 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1045.
House Bill 1045 by Representatives Snyder and Soper, also Senator Janal, concerning funding for carrying out duties related to the Office of Public Guardianship.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to lay over House Bill 1045 till the end of the special orders calendar.
House Bill 1045 is laid over until the end of the special orders calendar. Mr. Randall, please read the title to House Bill 1051.
House Bill 1051 by Representatives Carver and McLaughlin, also Senators Gardner and Janal, concerning human trafficking prevention training by the Department of Public Safety.
Representative Carver.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1051 and ask for a yes vote.
And the committee reports.
And the committee reports.
Thank you, Representative Carver. To the Appropriations Committee report. Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's really nice to work with a representative who also needs to lower the podium, so it's a good day from us. Yes, we put an amendment on in appropriations that said we do not need appropriations, that we found it from another cash fund, the Sex Offender Surcharge Fund. It's for 1 year only, but we're very happy with that. It does not change the tenor of the bill.
Is there any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The Appropriations Committee report passes. To the Judiciary report. Representative Carver.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We made some minor technical changes. Ask for a yes vote.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The committee report passes. To the bill. To the bill. Representative Carver, sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is a straightforward bill. This provides additional training assistance to law enforcement and victims assistance groups with regards to human sex trafficking. This is a growing crime in Colorado. The bill prioritizes these training opportunities, giving priority to rural districts, those that cannot afford to pay for the training of their staff out of their own budget. It also recognizes and codifies that human traffickers that are doing recruitment in our schools, and they are doing recruitment in our schools, is a public safety threat to our children. And it therefore directs and recognizes that this public safety threat to our children is an issue that the Colorado School Safety Center should address.
Thank you. Representative McLaughlin. Thank you, Madam Chair. As Representative Carver said, this is a growing problem in Colorado, and the more people we can train to identify people who have been in the process of being human trafficked, the better we can do in Colorado. Thank you. Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1051? Whoops. Were we to the bill? Great. Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1051. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1051 passes. See you. Thank you. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1193.
House Bill 1193 by Representatives Herod and Pelton, also Senator Garcia, concerning behavioral health supports for at-risk, high-risk families.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. Representative Pelton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the appropriations report.
Move the bill.
Move the
House
bill.
1193. And
Move the House Bill 1193 and the appropriations report.
To the appropriations report.
In appropriations, we amended it to be $500,000, right? The appropriation from the general fund is based on assumption that the office will require 0.6 FTE.
Is there any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The committee report passes. To the bill. Representative Herod.
Thank you, Madam Chair. 1193 is quite a simple bill, but it has a huge impact. The bill works together to address the fear, stigma, and lack of appropriate treatment for mothers and their children. This bill will not only improve access to treatment for mothers, but greatly reduces the negative impact of outcomes for Colorado's kids. Specifically, this bill will extend the enrollment period up to 1 year after giving birth for the Special Connections program, allowing additional Colorado mothers to receive critical services to support them and their growing families. Special Connections is an existing state program that supports high-risk pregnant women with substance use disorders by offering residential treatment. The bill also authorizes the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing to seek a federal approval to move the Special Connections program from a fee-for-service program waiver to a waiver to cover all individuals with substance use disorders. The bill also creates 2 pilot programs to evaluate novel 2-generational approaches to increasing child care for parents in substance use disorder treatments. And finally, the bill is a critical piece to ensuring that pregnant women and new mothers can find a path toward recovery while supporting positive incomes for Colorado's children. I ask for an aye vote.
Representative Pelton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, whenever we can keep families together, not have that threat of a new mom losing her baby, it's got positive outcomes, so I'd ask for a yes vote also.
Thank you, Representative Pelton. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1193. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. House Bill 1193 passes. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1269.
House Bill 1269 by Representatives Cutter and Sullivan, also Senators Junal and Gardner, concerning measures to improve behavioral health care coverage practices.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. Representative Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1269 to the committee as a whole, along with the Public Health Committee report and the Appropriations Committee report.
Thank you. To the Appropriations report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We went through appropriations this morning, had two quick little amendments that were approved, and we ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on the Appropriations Committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. The committee report passes. To the Public Health Care and Human Services report, Representative Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We just had a few amendments working with stakeholders to shore things up a little bit and some technical things to make sure everyone was on the same page.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Public Health Care and Human Services Committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
The committee report passes. To the bill. Representative Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, we're here to talk about a health care parity, mental health parity bill. This will put our mental health on par with the physical help that we get on a regular basis from our doctors. A lot of moving conversations and testimony passed 11-0 out of the Healthcare Committee. I ask for an aye vote today.
Representative Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's no denying that we're in a mental health crisis. More than 1 million Coloradans experience mental health or substance use disorders each year. Half of them don't get the treatment and the services they need. Suicide is the #1 cause of death for Colorado's youth, ages 10 to 24. 10 years old. People are more likely to die from drug overdose than from an automobile accident. This act will modernize our behavioral coverage laws, including covering a full range of conditions or disorders, regardless of whether the condition is based on genetic or environmental factors. It will strengthen prevention and screening laws, shifting our focus to early intervention, and it will ensure enforcement and transparency of existing state and federal parity laws and increase consumer protection. Just eliminate gaps and loopholes so that no more Coloradans fall through the cracks, and we ask for your aye vote today.
Is there any further discussion? Representative Beckman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just for the sponsors, I'm just wondering how this differs from what the federal health care reform requires for parity. Do you know if it's over and above, or? Because my concern is that the fiscal note might be somewhat low in a bill of this magnitude, and so I'm just wondering if there is, what the additional requirements are from healthcare reform at the federal level required parity, and I'm just wondering how much more this is going to cost.
Representative Cutter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It enforces federal healthcare parity is not being enforced. There's plenty of data around this, and what this bill does is put it into statute here in Colorado so that those laws are enforced. That's the bottom line.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1269. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. House Bill 1269 passes. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I didn't say it earlier, but it is an honor to serve with you.
It is an honor to serve with you.
I move to lay over House Bill 1279 one day till Wednesday, April 17th.
House Bill 1279 will be laid over one day until April 17th. Mr. Rando, please read the title of House Bill 1045.
House Bill 1045 by Representative Snyder and Soper, also Senator General, concerning funding for carrying out duties related to the Office of Public Guardianship.
Representative Soper.
Oh, thank you, Representative McCluskey. It's an honor to serve with you.
And an honor to serve with you.
I move the appropriation, or the judiciary report.
Please move the bill
And
first.
the appropriations report.
Please move the bill first.
Yes, I'd move House Bill
Representative Snyder.
1045, the Judiciary Report, and the Appropriations Report.
Thank you. To the Appropriations Report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we did have an appropriations meeting this morning, and we passed through on a favorable vote, so I'd ask for an aye vote on the Appropriations Report.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Appropriations Committee report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The Appropriations Committee report passes. To the Judiciary report, Representative Soper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We had a Judiciary Committee meeting on February 14th, and we just made some slight technical changes to the date to extend the pilot program to 2023.
Is there any further discussion on the Judiciary report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the Judiciary report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The Judiciary report passes. To the bill.
Thank you.
Representative Snyder.
Yeah. So this bill is one that was actually first started in 2017 with Representative Dave Young. It was limited to gifts, grants, and donations. We started out with a rather large fiscal note of $1.5 million in the first year, and through diligent work and the entire session, we have brought that number down to a much smaller and much more equitable number. We have scaled the project down for the first year, but we're thinking that with the general fund appropriation of approximately $408,000, we can get this program launched, and I would respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Representative Soper.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. This is a really good bill. Ever since I first heard it in Judiciary, I was really impressed by the work of Representative Snyder on this bill. I just would like to describe briefly the scenario that takes place. Someone goes into a hospital, they're elderly, it's for an acute health condition. While they're there, they lose their cognitive reasoning, they're unable to go back necessarily to their family home, so the hospital will look for friends or family to be able to be a guardian to look after this individual. And when no one can be found, they end up just staying in the hospital when the medical condition is passed. So it actually ends up costing our hospitals a lot of money, when in fact all they really need is a guardian to be able to do so. And a public guardianship model is a model that's proven to work in our neighboring states of Nevada and New Mexico. So I would ask for a yes vote.
Thank you, Representative Soper. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1045. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. House Bill 1045 passes.
Good job.
Oh, Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Great job today. I move the committee rise and report.
You've heard the motion. The committee will now rise and report. Thank you.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Randall, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker, your Committee of the Whole Big League report has under its consideration following recommendations thereon. House Bill 1045 is amended. House Bill 1051 is amended. House Bill 1193 is amended. House Bill 1260. House Bill 1269 is amended. House Bill 1280 is amended. House Bill 1305 passed second or gross post count of third and final passage. Senate Bill 4 is amended. Senate Bill 64, Senate Bill 189 is amended. Senate Bill 200, Senate Bill 201 passed second or revised post count of third and final passage. House Bill 1279 and Senate Bill 168 are laid over until April 17th, 2019, retaining its place on the calendar.
Representative McCluskey. You have heard the motion. There are no amendments at the desk. Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Mr. Randall, please close the machine. With 45 aye votes, 16 no votes, and 4 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is passed. Majority Leader Garnett. Oh, third? Okay. Do you want to proceed out of order?
I think we're in order.
We are in order. Okay. The next order of business is third reading of bills, final passage. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1285.
House Bill 1285 by Representative Lontine, also Senator Fields, concerning the requirement for the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing to contract with the managed care organization operated by Denver Health and Hospital Authority until the managed care organization ceases to operate a Medicaid managed care program.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1285 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1285 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Mr. Randall, Representative Buckner is present. Please close the machine. With 62 aye votes, no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1285 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1290.
House Bill 1290 by Representative Arndt, also Senator Briola, concerning the substitution of foreign work experience for the required contract hours by an applicant for an examination pursuant to the Barber and Cosmetologist Act.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1290 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1290 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Please close the machine. With 60 aye votes, 2 no votes, and 3 excused, House Bill 1290 is passed. Co-sponsors. Mr. Randall, Representative Jackson is present. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1291.
House Bill 1291 by Representative Arndt, also Senators Williams and Tate, concerning the supervision of insurers in connection with establishing certain disclosure requirements for insurers.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1291 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1291 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Beckman, Humphrey, Sane. Please close the machine. With 58 aye votes, 5 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1291 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1301.
House Bill 1301 by Representatives Michelson, Janae, and Buckner, also Senator Williams, concerning health insurance coverage for breast imaging.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1301 on third reading and final passage.
The question before the House is the passage of House Bill 1301 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 59 aye votes, 4 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1301 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1013.
House Bill 1013 by Representative Exum, also Senator Pedersen, concerning the extension of the income tax credit for child care expenses paid by a resident individual of a federal adjusted gross income of $25,000 or less.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1013 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1013 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Aren't. Please close the machine. With 56 aye votes, 7 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1013 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1088.
House Bill 1088 by Representatives Buck and Valdez de Senator Donovan, concerning modifications to the existing income tax credit for healthcare preceptors working in healthcare professional shortage areas in connection with clarifying the definition of preceptorship and extending its sunset date for the tax credit.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1088 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1088 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 55 aye votes, 8 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1088 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1110.
House Bill 1110 by Representative Cutter, also Senator Pedersen, concerning implementing media literacy in elementary and secondary education in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1110 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1110 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 40 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1110 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1120.
House Bill 1120 by Representatives Michelson, Janae, and Roberts, also Senators Fenberg and Quorum, concerning multiple approaches to prevent youth suicide in connection with making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1120 on third reading and final passage.
The question, Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You hear this a lot. I wasn't going to come down and talk about this, but 6 days ago, there was a death in my community. A young woman, Helen Ann Abbey, passed away, and she died by suicide. So I called up the family and let them know what we were doing on the House floor and what we were working on. And they asked me to say a few things, and I would not have done this without their permission. But I just want to honor her life a little bit here. And I'm going to read just a short excerpt from her obituary. Helen Ann Abbey, beloved and beautiful daughter, sister, aunt, and friend, passed away on April 10th, 2019. Helen was born to Paul and Evelyn Abbey on December 31st, 1996 at Longmont United Hospital. A gifted student at Longmont Estates Elementary and Westview Middle School, Helen thrived socially and academically. She graduated with honors from Silver Creek High School in 2015, where she was a member of the Silver Creek Leadership Academy. She started the TERRA program, a domestic abuse awareness organization, while at Silver Creek. Helen continued her advocacy work at Colorado State University, where she was a senior, majoring in social work. In 2017, she represented CSU in Washington, D.C. as a delegate for a conference concerning human rights and diversity. And Helen was an active member of Cruise at the CSU campus and brought warmth and her candid spirit in her work to educate her students about positive health behaviors. Helen worked tirelessly to ensure reproductive rights of women around the globe, and she had recently returned from a semester studying abroad in Argentina. Helen truly wanted to make the world a more accepting place, and countless lives were improved in her presence because of her presence in the community. The youngest of her siblings, Helen, adored spending time with her 3 older sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews. Amongst her friends, Helen was known for her strong sense of leadership, a passion for what is right, and an infectious laugh. Helen died too soon, and her family members and her friends are devastated by this loss. In lieu of flowers, please consider making a donation to the Hope for Depression Research Foundation or for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Her memorial is going to be held tomorrow. And I called up this family not just because they're constituents with strong roots in Longmont, because Helen reminded me of me. She went to school in Boulder County. She participated in domestic violence awareness programs like I did as a high school student. She graduated and went on to the same university that I did and got the same major that I did. She was 4 weeks from graduation. The amount of vicarious trauma that even students take on when they decide to become a social work student can be overwhelming. The amount of stress that college students and high school students face by themselves is enough. So when I called this family up and asked them what else they wanted me to share with you all, they said that not only do they support this bill, but they're leaving a lot of room open in their hearts for love right now. And I think For me, I won't debate the bill right now, but I will say I believe she would have wanted this bill to pass. She wanted to become one of these professionals that would have helped some of these kids. And I'm asking you and all of us to think about how we can leave some room open in our hearts as we go on through the session, through the last couple weeks here. Not just on this bill, but on every bill and every interaction. And I want to put out a special thanks to Mike Feely and President Tony Frank, who have found a way for Helen to receive her degree in social work at CSU posthumously and allow her sister to walk in her honor at commencement in just a couple of weeks. Members, thank you for your attention. Please leave some room open in your hearts for some love and vote your conscience.
Representative Baisley.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So I'll join in the mourning for someone who lost their life and for the family. However, this bill is a deliberate displacement of parents through government schools that was validated at about 4 a.m. this morning. This is a really bad idea, and we need to vote against it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1120 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Representative Jaquez Lois is here. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1120 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1122.
House Bill 1122 by Representatives Buckner and Landgraf, House Senators Fields and Gardner, concerning the creation of a maternal mortality review committee in the Department of Public Health and Environment in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1122 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1122 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Humphrey. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1122 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1132.
House Bill 1132 by Representatives Buenteo and Pelton, House Senator Quorum, concerning Colorado food products in schools in connection with making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1132 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1132 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Landgraf, please close the machine. With 53 aye votes, 11 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1132 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1133.
House Bill 1133 by Representatives Caraveo and Pelton, all Senator Fields, concerning the creation of a Colorado Child Abuse Response and Evaluation Network and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1133 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1133 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Catlin, Duran, McKean. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1133 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1134.
House Bill 1134 by Representatives Buckner and Wilson, all Senator Todd, concerning researching effective methods for assisting early grade students with dyslexia and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1134 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the Speaker Pro Tem Buckner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Sleep deprivation. I don't think I have ever come to the well on a third, but today I want to thank my co-prime sponsor, Representative Wilson. This was our bill. We worked on this. The stakeholder process was extensive, and we had 130 parents and students come to testify about the importance of this bill. And the parents were so excited about this bill being voted on and passing that they've been here for 3 days. And unfortunately, they're not able to witness this today. But I wanted to put this on the record for them. I want to thank Colorado Kids. I want to thank all the stakeholders. And this is the first time that dyslexia is going to be defined in statute. And I want to honor all those parents and students and thank you so much for all of you who know how important this bill is. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Pro Tem. The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1134 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1134 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1171.
House Bill 1171 by Representatives Michelson, Janelle, Senators Fields, and Priola, concerning expanding the grades eligible for the Child Nutrition School Lunch Protection Program in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1171 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1171 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 45 aye votes, 19 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1171 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1184.
House Bill 1184 by Representatives Harrod and Caraveo, Senator Williams, concerning a requirement that the staff of legislative council prepare demographic notes on certain legislative bills in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1184 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1184 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excuse, House Bill 1184 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1187.
House Bill 1187 by Representative Coleman, also Senator Bridges, concerning increasing completion rates of applications to student financial aid for higher education in connection with making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1187 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1187 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 48 aye votes, 16 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1187 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1257.
House Bill 1257 by Representatives Becker and McCluskey, U.S. Senators Court and Briola, concerning authority for the state to keep and spend all the revenue in excess of constitutional limitation on state fiscal year spending beginning with the 2019-20 fiscal year in order to provide funding for public schools, higher education, and roads, bridges, and transit.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1257 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1257 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1257 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1258.
House Bill 1258 by Representatives Becker and McCluskey, House Senators Court and Briola, concerning the allocation of money that the state keeps and spends as a result of voter-approved revenue change at the 2019 statewide election.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1258 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1258 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Representative Catlin, please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1258 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1247.
House Bill 1247 by Representatives Valdez, D. and Catlin, House Senators Donovan and Quorum, concerning a study by the Commissioner of Agriculture on the potential applications for blockchain technology in agricultural operations.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1247 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1247 on third reading and final passage. Representative Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning. We had some really good debate on this on Friday evening. I brought a couple amendments, but so I went back and read the bill some more because in respect to the bill sponsors, they said it was voluntary. I cannot find the word voluntary in this bill. It is not there. So what concerns me, and I was at a meeting in Branson, Colorado on Saturday afternoon, the producers out there, we are concerned that a little pilot program, there's nothing wrong with blockchain technology. It's what the bill says. And as you know, members, what the bill says is what's going to go on. These two fine representatives might say that's not the intent, but they don't go with the bill. The paper goes on. So it just concerns me that the word voluntary is not here. Ag producers from all over the United States have worked very hard to keep their information. It's just like your own personal information. You don't want it out there. Small farms and ranches all over the United States in the beef producing part of the world, we try very hard to keep our operations going. And information is power. Information is money for packers. Ladies and gentlemen, the word voluntary is not there. Please just vote no. Thank you.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, this is a good bill. This bill is to study blockchain in agriculture. And with that, I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of House Bill 1247 on third reading and final passage. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Geithner, McKean, Tipper, Sandridge. Sandridge. Is he gone? Representative Sandridge is excused. Please close the machine. With 52 aye votes, 11 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1247 is passed. Representative Sandridge, what do you guys say? I'm going to rely on the members of his own party. What's the fine? I see $5, $3. I'm going to compromise between the 3 and the 5s. It's $4, Representative Sandridge. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say co-sponsors? Did I close the machine? Okay. Co-sponsors. Representative Sandridge, it's for a good cause.
It is. There you go.
Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1250.
House Bill 1250 by Representative Harriet Senator Danielson concerning sex offenses committed by a peace officer and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Majority Leader Garnett, or Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1250 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1250 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Beckman and Lewis, please close the machine. With 59 aye votes, 5 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1250 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1262.
House Bill 1262 by Representatives Wilson and McLaughlin, all senators Bridges and Fields, concerning state funding for full-day kindergarten educational programs and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1262 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1262 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Please close the machine. With 53 aye votes, 11 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1262 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1289.
House Bill 1289 by Representative Weissman, all Senator Foote, concerning the creation of additional protection of the Colorado Consumer Code in connection with enforcement of the Colorado Consumer Protection Act for reckless acts.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1289 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1289 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Melton. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1289 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1265.
House Bill 1265 by Representatives Escar and Soper, all Senators Rankin and Winter, concerning the penalty for a person who passes a snowplow that is performing its service function in echelon formation with at least one other snowplow in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1265 on third reading and final passage.
Should we have the demonstration first? Minority Leader Neville, you're always the rule breaker. Representative Soper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's not every day you get to say echelon, so I would ask for a yes vote.
Representative Escar.
for the final time.
Echelon.
Oh, goodness. Okay. The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1265 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion or demonstrations? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Benavidez and Valdez. Oh, please close the machine. With 58 aye votes, 6 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1265 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1255.
House Bill 1255 by Representatives Hansen and Catlin, House Senators Quorum and Zinzinger, concerning the creation of a Mesa Verde National Park license plate.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1255 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1255 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Lontine and Sandridge. Sandridge, thank you. Please close the machine. With 52 aye votes, 12 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1255 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. I've noticed there are a lot fewer license plate bills than there used to be, and I think it's like we've covered everything in Colorado with their own license plate. Like, we're running out of topics. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1188.
House Bill 1188 by Representatives Sirota and Snyder, House Senator Foote, concerning the inclusion of the net impact on greenhouse gas pollution in the fiscal notes prepared for legislative measures in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1188 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1188 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Landgraf. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1188 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1202.
House Bill 1202 by Representatives McLaughlin and Galindo, House Senators Janal and Priola, concerning the Food Systems Advisory Council and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1202 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1202 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 42 aye votes and 22 no votes and 1 excused, House Bill 1202 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1216.
House Bill 1216 by Representative Roberts, House Senators Donovan and Priola, concerning measures to reduce a patient's cost of prescription insulin drugs and in connection therewith making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1216 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1216 on third reading and final passage. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 51 aye votes, 13 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1216 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1228.
House Bill 1228 by Representatives Byrd and Tatone, also Senators Senzinger and Tate, concerning an increase in the aggregate amount of the tax credits that the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority may allocate in a calendar year under the Colorado Affordable Housing Tax Credit.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1228 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1228 on third reading and final passage. Wow, the Senate's actually doing something. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote.
Oh, actually, I don't.
You need to vote.
I need to take vote on the bill. I understand. I need to
Can he do it now?
I'm sorry, I missed it. I was talking to somebody. It's my fault. I need to take it 20 minutes.
Yeah. Representative Gray is excused. Please close the machine. With 43 aye votes, 20 no votes, and 2 excused, House Bill 1228 is passed. Representative Gray.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I apologize, members. I didn't catch this bill as we were voting on it before we were. I was excused because I asked for to be excused under Rule 21C. My law firm and my law practice involves some of the transactions involved here, and we represent CHAFA significantly in that respect, to where I think that it is possible that my practice would benefit more than those in my field. And I know we haven't done one of these yet this year, but it's one of the grounds for 21C. I also don't think we've done this year for that reason, ask that my name be removed as a co-sponsor.
Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1233.
House Bill 1233 by Representatives Froelich and Caraveo, Senators Janal and Moreno, concerning payment systems reforms to reduce healthcare costs by increasing utilization of primary care in connection with making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1233 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1233 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 45 aye votes, 19 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1233 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1307.
House Bill 1307 by Representatives Kraft, Tharp, and Larson, also Senators Lee and Gardner, concerning the classification, clarification, the disclosure of a report of a mistreatment or self-neglect of an at-risk adult shall be only made to the at-risk adult who is the subject of the report.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1307 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1307 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, 1 no vote, and 1 excused, House Bill 1307 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1261.
House Bill 1261 by Representatives Becker and Jackson, House Senators Winter and Williams, concerning the reduction of greenhouse gas pollution in connection with establishing statewide greenhouse gas pollution reduction goals, making an appropriation.
Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the passage of House Bill 1261 on third reading and final passage.
The question before us is the passage of House Bill 1261 on third reading and final passage. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1261 is passed. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Majority Leader Kennedy. What?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am just another.
Oh, I'm
tall,
sorry, Majority
straight
Leader
white guy.
Garnett. My goodness, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. You can mix us up. I move to proceed out of order for consideration of Senate amendments to House bills.
Seeing no objection, the House will proceed out of order for consideration of Senate amendment to House bills. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1207.
House Bill 1207 by Representative Roberts, also Senators Donovan and Rankin, concerning requirement that motor vehicles meet traction control standards for winter conditions.
Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I move that the House concur with Senate amendments on House Bill 1207.
Was that supposed to sound like a turkey, Representative Milton? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know that that was right. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. One amendment was added in the Senate, which I actually think is a good amendment. It directs the Department of Transportation to study this summer how they're going to get the word out about this new law, how they're going to educate the Colorado State Patrol and educate drivers across the state. I think it's a good amendment to get the word out, and ask for an aye vote.
The question before us is to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1207. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. McLaughlin. Please close the machine. With 48 aye votes, 16 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1207, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House bills is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1207 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1207 as amended. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 46 aye votes, 18 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1207 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1030.
House Bill 1030 by Representative Soper and Roberts, also Senators Rankin and Zenzinger, concerning creating the crime of unlawful electronic sexual communication.
Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also move on this bill that the House concur with Senate amendments.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This should be an amendment that everybody likes. All they did in the Senate was strip the appropriation clause because we do not need an appropriation on this bill. I'd ask for an aye vote.
The question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1030. Although, any further discussion? Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1030 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1030 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1030 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1030 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1208.
House Bill 1208 by Representatives Singer and Landgraf, House Senators Fields and Gardner, concerning the designation of physical therapists as healthcare providers for the purpose of ensuring compliance with required head trauma guidelines and organized youth athletic activities.
Representative Landgraf.
One word. One word. The Senate added one word. Did they deliberate and collaborate and take hours to add one word? Should we agree? Should we accept? Did they look? They just leapt. To avoid more conflict, we will accept. So gobble, gobble, everyone. We will vote. This bill is done.
Nicely done. Representative Singer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, first of all, I guess I'll move that we concur with Senate amendments. It was very well done that Representative Landgraf didn't have to say that. And I'm out of rhymes, but I'm going to do a little haiku here. With Senate amendments, rulemaking is not needed because compromise occurred. Please vote yes. 575.
Wow. The question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1208. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, 1 no vote, and 1 excuse, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1208 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1208 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1208 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1208 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1023.
House Bill 1023 by Representatives Sane and Jackson, House Senators Marble and Todd, concerning the issuance of driving authorization documents to foster children who are under 18 years of age in connection with making an appropriation.
Representative Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1023.
Representative Sane.
And not to let the rhymes go, Madam Speaker, foster children are deserving to vote with the Senate, concur I do.
Wow.
Got one?
Short but sweet. Representative Jackson.
I have had 2.5 hours of sleep, and so I won't make a peep.
Nice. Excellent, excellent. The question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1023. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Representative Baisley. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excuse, the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1023 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1023 as amended.
The question before us is the motion is the repassage of House Bill 1023 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, the motion to repass 1023 is amended. The motion, well, let me start that over. HB 1023 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1092.
House Bill 1092 by Representatives Valdez Ayala, Senator Janal, concerning a prohibition on future ownership of an animal for persons convicted of animal cruelty.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1092.
Please proceed.
Very simple change here. Very sweet thing that they did over there. They named the bill after my dog, who was my little sidekick, who I lost. So it's now Punky's Law. So I would urge an aye vote.
Wow. The motion before us is to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1092. Mr. Randall, is there any further discussion? Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members please vote. Baisley, Tatone. Please close the machine. With 48 aye votes, 16 no votes, and 1 excused, the motion to concur with Senate amendments on House Bill 1092 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1092 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1092 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please Representative Buck. Please close the machine. With 49 aye votes, 16 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1092 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Representative Singh.
Thank you, Madam
Oh,
Speaker.
close the machine. I'm sorry, please close the machine. Now, Representative Singh.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask that my name be removed as a co-sponsor.
Representative Singh's name will be removed as a co-sponsor. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1220.
House Bill 1220 by Representative Sullivan, also Senator Fields, concerning allowing a court facility dog to accompany a witness during testimony.
Representative Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that House concur with the Senate amendments on House Bill 1220.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I don't have any quips or poems or haikus or limericks or anything, or cute stories. I'll just, they made some technical changes, and I ask for an aye vote on those changes.
The question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1220. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Baisley, St. Louis. Lewis. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, 1 no vote, and 1 excuse, the motion to concur with Senate amendments on House Bill 1220 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1220 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1220 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Buckner, Humphrey, Singer, Liston. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, 1 no vote, and 1 excused, House Bill 1220 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1232.
House Bill 1232 by Representatives Gonzalez, Gutierrez, and Catlin, also Senators Quorum and Rodriguez, concerning the alignment of compliance with the Federal Indian Child Welfare Act.
Representative Gonzalez Gutierrez.
We'll switch it up. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to concur with the Senate amendments.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I don't know if Representative Catlin has any, fancy words to say, but it's pretty simple. There's just some technical amendments that were made to make sure that we're aligning with the federal law.
Representative Catlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, they're not fancy words. They just said that they wanted
to amend it, the people that are going to implement this needed this amendment to make it easier for them to work it. So, concur.
Representative Catlin, it is an honor to serve with you.
And it's an honor to serve with you, too.
And you as well, Representative Gonzalez Gutierrez. The question before us is the motion to concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 1232. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Sandridge and Williams. Please close the machine. With 63 aye votes, 1 no vote, and 1 excuse, the motion to concur with Senate amendments on House Bill 1232 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1232 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1232 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Buck, Hooton, Humphrey. Please close the machine. With 64 aye votes, no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1232 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors.
How you doing? Great. Thank you. Co-sponsors.
Please close the machine. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to proceed out of order for consideration of conference committee reports.
Seeing no objection, the House will proceed out of order for consideration of conference committee reports. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1131.
House Bill 1131 by Representatives Hawkes Lewis, also Senator Winter, concerning a requirement to share the wholesale acquisition cost of a drug when sharing information concerning the drug with another party.
Representative Hawkes Lewis.
Madam Speaker, it's an honor to be awake and serving with you this morning.
Yes, it is. An honor to be awake.
Yes. Members, this is the WAC bill, and we did some nips and tucks in conference committee. So I move that the House adopt the first majority report of the conference committee on 1131.
The question is the adoption of the conference committee report on House Bill 1131. Is there any further discussion? Did you want to
I can say that we added some language that clarifies conversations that take place at scientific conferences. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Lewis. Lewis, thank you. Please close the machine. With 42 aye votes, 22 no votes, and 1 excused, what am I doing? Oh, we are adopting the first conference committee report of House Bill 1131, the majority report. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1131 as amended.
The question is the repassage of House Bill 1131 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Benavides and Buckner. Please Please close the machine. With 41 aye votes, 23 no votes, and 1 excused, House Bill 1131 is repassed as amended. Mr. Randall, please read the title of, co-sponsors.
Ooh.
Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 214.
Senate Bill 214
Senate Bill 214.
by
Jeez.
Senator Rankin, also Representatives Eskar and Ransom, concerning capital-related transfers of money.
Representative Eskar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I move the House adopt the first report of the first conference committee on Senate Bill 214. Because we're so great and amazing, the Senate acceded to the House amendment that we'd made on the bill.
Representative Ransom.
I also urge an aye vote and ask that we adopt the first conference committee report.
The question is the adoption of the conference committee report on Senate Bill 214. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. McKean. Please close the machine. With 60 aye votes, 4 no votes, and 1 excused, the first conference committee report on Senate Bill 214 is adopted. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 214 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of Senate Bill 214. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Please close the machine. With 57 aye votes, 7 no votes, and 1 excuse, Senate Bill 214 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of Senate Bill 208.
Senate Bill 208 by Senator Moreno, also Representative Eskar, concerning a transfer of money from the State Employee Reserve Fund to the General Fund.
Representative Eskar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House adopt the first report of the first conference committee on Senate Bill 208.
Please proceed.
Thank you. And the Senate, once again, acceded to the House amendments made to the bill as the amendments appear in the revised bill, with the following changes: that we moved the money from 13 to 23 million, and under that authority, because you all allowed us to go beyond the scope, we were granted, the committee was able to consider matters not at issue between the two houses. We were able to move 23 million, 10 of that to go towards transportation. I ask for an aye vote.
Representative Ransom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good bill, vote yes.
The question before us is the adoption of the first conference committee report to Senate Bill 208. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Rich and Sane. Please close the machine. With 59 aye votes, 5 no votes, and 1 excused, the first conference committee report for Senate Bill 208 is adopted. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to postpone indefinitely. I'm joking. I move for the repassage of Senate Bill 208 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of Senate Bill 208 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine and members, please vote. Beckman. Please close the machine. With 52 aye votes, 12 no votes, and 1 excused, Senate Bill 208 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Mr. Randall, please read the title of House Bill 1170.
House Bill 1170 by Representatives Jackson and Weissman, also Senators Williams and Bridges, concerning increasing tenant protections relating to the residential warrant of habitability.
Representative Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House adopt the first report of the First Conference Committee on House Bill 1170.
Please proceed. Representative Weissman.
Thank you. So members, a couple things going on here. We are starting with the re-revised version, incorporating some things that happened in the Senate concerning notice and mold, which were some of the provisions that we talked about here. The conference report on top of that does a number of things. We allow a 96-hour notice period instead of 24 in certain circumstances. We make some conforming language to take account of the fact that housing authority properties must be treated differently in some respects. We make a conforming amendment to something that happened in the Senate that our drafter caught, and it may be of particular interest that we substitute a petition clause for a safety clause. We ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the question before us is the motion to adopt the first conference committee report on House Bill 1170. Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Thank you. Landgraf. Please close the machine. With 46 aye votes, 18 no votes, and 1 excused, the motion to adopt the first conference committee report on House Bill 1170 is passed. Majority Leader Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for the repassage of House Bill 1170 as amended.
The question before us is the repassage of House Bill 1170 as amended. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Randall, please open the machine, and members, please vote. Tipper, please close the machine. With 42 aye votes, 22 no votes, 1 excused, House Bill 1170 is repassed as amended. Co-sponsors. Please close the machine. Announcements and introductions. Great work, everyone. Representative Kraftart.
Business Affairs and Labor Committee. Want to alert you that tomorrow's going to be a big day. We're going to have 6 bills up, including 5 of the bills that are in the calendar. There is an additional bill that will be added to our calendar. That's House Bill 1321 with Representative Coleman.
Representative Valdez.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and also want to recognize former Representative and Senator Louis Entz in the House. He's right over here. Please stand up. He's a potato grower from the San Luis Valley. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Thank you for joining us today. Representative Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I, too, want to recognize State Representative, State Senator Louis Entz. He was here in the House from 1983 to 1998. Wow. Everyone go make him feel welcome. Thank you.
Representative McLaughlin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Education Committee, we have no audio in 107 today, so we're meeting in the library because none of you can yell that loud. So we'll be in the library today.
Representative Ransom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I don't know if Challenge to Excellence Charter School is here. Is that? They were here earlier while we were working on our third reading calendar, but I just wanted to ask you all to help me welcome Challenge to Excellence Charter School of Parker, Colorado.
Representative Beckman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just want to share some Colorado good news in the economy. New tax cuts set the economy ablaze. In my district, Centennial Bolt announced tax cuts funded bonuses, more hiring, raises, business expansion, and increased charitable contributions. Xcel Energy passed $20 million in federal tax savings to natural gas customers in Colorado. Chipotle just recently offered bonuses ranging from $250 to $1,000, raised employee benefits, and increased investments of profits into the businesses by $50 million. And the Bank of Colorado gave $1,000 bonuses to all employees. That's good news for the Colorado economy.
Representative Ransom and Liston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I have some good economic news as well. A report by the Urban Bookings Tax Policy Center finds that the new law, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, reduces taxes for 70% of Colorado residents. Taxes increase for fewer than 8% of state residents under the new law. So that's very good news. Yesterday was tax day, and if you listened carefully, taxes were reduced for 70% of Colorado residents. King Soopers has launched a tuition assistance program and raised its 401k pension match by 25%. That means they are doing well. Colorado is a great place for businesses and especially King Soopers. And Ball Corporation announced plans to add at least 400 employees. Again, that's great economic news, and thank you.
Representative Liston.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, there's more good economic news, not only in Colorado, but around the nation. The Council of Economic Advisors shows that blue-collar employment increased by over 300,000 jobs nationwide due to the tax cuts. Growth in our gross domestic product throughout 2018 was the fastest since 2005. And investment by independent businesses grew by over $26 billion due to the tax cuts, and nominal hourly wages grew by 3.4%, the fastest growth in 10 years, and the lowest wage earners saw the fastest growth. These are due to the tax cuts. Let's hear it for the Trump tax cuts. Thank you.
Representative Weissman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to add to our fiscal discussion that the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates that TCJA will increase deficits by $1.9 trillion with a T. Yes, you heard that right, $1.9 trillion through 2028, even after incorporating the impact of the new law on the economy. If lawmakers make the temporary provisions of TCJA permanent, long-term effects will be even more dire.
I have an announcement. Representative Alex Valdez will replace Representative Byrd. Representative Exum will replace Representative Snyder. And Representative Kipp will replace Representative Sullivan on Finance Committee today only. Tomorrow, April 17th only. Is there any further discussion? Any more announcements or introductions? Assistant Majority Leader Kennedy.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the House stand in recess until later today.
Seeing no objection, the House will be in recess till later today.